Hello guys, now we are in the second game in the model games of Sicilian Scheveningen in the F4 Tal variation, and this game is a model game for white side, and the game is played between Ian Rogers as white and Walter Rodriguez as black in 1998, and this game goes e4, c5, knight f3, d6, d4, cd4, knight takes d4, knight f6, knight c3, e6, f4, a6, and queen to f3. Now black puts queen to b6. In this way, black would like to drive the active white knight away from its central post. Now knight to b3. The knight stands less well here than on d4. Black suspects that at some point it will have to head back to d4, just justifying his own use of 2 tempi rather than 1 to get his queen to c7. Now knight to c6, bishop to e3, queen to c7, now g4. White does not wait to set his flank attack in motion. Now b5. It is dangerous to try and hold back the floodwaters with h6 here. If at all h6 is played, then white will be able to play h4 and force g5 anyway, and also the h file will be in his hands. Now g5, knight d7, long castles. The most obvious way to play white castles long, and it is usually done, and it hides the king on b1 and only then looks at further options. There are players who, instead of this, find it necessary to try and castle short instead. That is of course not the safest idea, but it does have the advantage that if black then places his own king on the queen side, white stands ready to attack the queen side with a4. And now bishop to b7. And king b1. This is a useful move. The king stood poorly on c file, and furthermore the c1 square now stands vacant, ready to be used by another white piece. Now rook c8, hereby renouncing any ideas of castling long and instead trying to generate play along the c file. And one alternative here is g6, and now bishop d3, knight to c5. The alternative move knight to b4 has been played in various games, giving black equality, and this looks to be a better idea than the move played in the game. Now queen to h3, a nice idea. Here the white player places his queen away from the diagonal, patrolled by black's b7 bishop, and simultaneously places e6 under fire. The weakness of this pawn, together with the unprotected rook on h8, means that in case of g6, black will have no good way to take the marauding pawn. Clearly that move is now high on white's agenda. And now b4. Now knight to e2. Now if at all, knight to c5 and d takes c5.
அதுக்கு கொடுக்குறாங்கள சைடு அதில் வந்து
Knight
கிரீன் சட்னி
to
சூப்பராக இருக்குது.
a4
ஆலு மட்டர் நார்மலாக இருந்துச்சு.
would lead to great problems for black.
லஸ்ஸி
For instance, like if at all now
மை மோஸ்ட் ஃபேவரட் லஸ்ஸியும் அந்த ரத்தி
knight to d4,
கண்டிப்பாக நீங்கள் வந்து ட்ரை பண்ணலாம். நான் ஷுவராக சொல்லுவேன். அவ்வளோ கூட்டம் வருது அந்த இடத்துல.
then there is f5. This is strong.
ஸோ இந்த இடத்துல வந்து இந்த இடத்த உங்களுக்கு நான் எப்படி காட்டுறேன்னா,
And
லெட்ஸ் சி
ef5 is met by rook
வந்து அங்கே பாருங்க
he1.
தெரியுதா உங்களுக்கு? அதுதான் வந்து ரெட் ஃபோர்ட்.
Here whereupon the black king finds itself under siege of every front,
ஒரு லெஃப்ட்ல வாலி காலி
and
வலி காலி அது இதுல போயிட்டு
if at all now c4, then it fails to bishop takes d4, c takes d3, then queen takes d3. When white has picked up a crucial pawn without his opponent having gained any particular coherence in the placing of his pieces. If at all e5 is played, then b3, white has a nearly decisive advantage. But in the game, actually knight to e2 was played. Here knight takes c5 was worth it. Now knight a5. This is a blunder in a position which is already dubious. Here the correct move was knight takes d3, and after c takes d3 and bishop to e7, rook hg1, rook hg1, now g6, f5, to a complicated position where white has superior chances. Here instead of rook hg1, g6 is too hasty, because after fg6, queen takes e6, queen d7, and white is better but not especially so. But black makes a blunder of knight a5, and there is bishop takes c5. A nice bit of insight from the white side led to him giving up his good bishop for the knight on c5. Now knight takes b3. So what was the insight here? So if at all d takes c5, then after knight takes a5, queen takes a5, white is now able to focus his full attention on the single most vulnerable point in black's position, the pawn on e6. Now bishop to c4, then rook to d8, rook to d8, and now f5. The consequences of this breakthrough are catastrophic for black, and if at all e5 is played, then queen to h5, then g6, fg6, fg6, and queen to f3, queen to c7, and bishop to f7. because there's a mate here. So queen has to take the bishop, then rook takes d8 is coming. Here bishop takes e4 is wrong because bishop takes e6 is coming. This would simply win. Here if at all after bishop c4, if queen to b6 is played, then g6, and black can't hold things together. Even f5 can be played. So the e6 point is of great weakness. So that's why after bishop takes c5, knight takes b3 is correct. And after bishop takes b4, knight c5, bishop takes c5, queen takes c5, now g6. This is the stereotyped attacking move which we so often come across in the Sicilian. Black's pawn structure will now get torn apart. Now bishop to e7. If at all f takes g6 is played, then the precise move reply would be knight to d4. So if at all f g6 is played, now there will be knight to d4. There is a tactic the queen can't take because there is bishop b5 check, and now black could play rook b8, and there is queen takes e6. So g6 is the correct move, and after bishop e7, now knight to d4, now bishop to f6. The weakness of black's position are terminal and his resistance effectively ends here. Now gf7 check, king takes f7, queen takes e6 check. Now knight king f8 and queen takes f6, g takes f6, knight e6 check, and king e7. Now knight takes c5, d takes c5, and it should be relatively trivial to convert the advantage of 2 pawns which white has here. So guys, I hope you would have enjoyed the game, and in the next 2 games we will be looking at model games for black side, and after that we will be looking at the Fischer-Sozin attack. So thank you all. I will meet you in the next video.